Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In Monday's episode with the cup of coffee, of course, we're going to be doing technical analysis on the VeChain and Chainlink because yesterday we did Bitcoin analysis, and we're going to do just very quick recap what happened on the chart and what we expect over here from the Bitcoin. But nevertheless, we're going to be focusing more on VeChain and Chainlink. They have almost very the same chart, but very different price action, so it's very interesting to cover this and what could we expect from that price in the future, right? And now let's begin. So doing the recap on the Bitcoin price that we did yesterday, as we can see, we opened with one bearish candle over here, and it is kind of expected. We discussed about that in yesterday's video because we do have bearish divergences on the monthly and the weekly chart. And also I need to mention over here the star that we have, which is in this case scenario unfortunately evening star, and it's showing us the bearish signs that we could have, reversal in this pattern over here, in this trend that we have right now. And also we need to mention that this over here, this week on this green candle, I can just zoom in a little bit so you can see this candle over here is representing pretty good resistance. So until we break 14 and 100, we cannot say that we are bullish because that's the next high that needs to be broken. And if we switch on the weekly chart, you can see much bigger picture, which means this high over here needs to be broken, and that's pretty much where we are standing right now. So we need to actually push forward in order to see higher prices, of course, and we need to find level of support on those levels. For now, so far so good. We are still above this channel that we discussed in the Bitcoin price. We are still above all moving averages if we include other EMAs. So we are just saying what we saw yesterday. I need to mention also that we are in some sort of a bearish divergence over here, or let's say bearish exaggerated divergence, because we have flat resistance over here between those weeks, and over here we have lower high. And unfortunately right now we are eligible to say, to play out this bearish divergence, to pull to the downside, unfortunately. But we will see how this will play out. Maybe traders are going to ignore this, but I nearly doubt it. Now also over here we have the same situation. As you can see, we do have lower highs since the 2017 bull market, that peak that we had, and also we have flat over here. So yeah, we need to be careful. We need to be careful what we are watching, what we are doing on the charts right now. It's a little bit, still undecisive when it comes to everything, especially because of the elections and situations in the world about pandemic and everything. But right now, let's go to the charts of the Chainlink and the VeChain to see what is going on there in the previous few days, because we didn't cover it. We waited, of course, price action so we can do the technical analysis. So over here, as you can see, the Chainlink has some very interesting tunnel, and when I say tunnel, I mean this red one that is lifting the price to the upside, making the higher highs and the higher lows. And if we switch on the VeChain, you can see that the VeChain tried to do something very similar over here, but unfortunately it broke to the bearish side. I don't know what is going on the VeChain, but we will try to guess over here, at least with the technical analysis on the charts. So if we switch back on the link over here, what we can see is one perfectly good tunnel that the traders and investors right now are very neatly respecting, and I love this tunnel. Now what we did over here is the trade was based actually on 20 exponential moving average that we did. So I actually traded breakout of 20 exponential moving average, and one of the reasons for that is because the Chainlink is respecting it very much, and also the trade was based the most on 50 simple moving average. One of the reasons here for the 50 simple moving average is because the link managed to respect resistance, 50 moving average as a resistance in the previous downturn over here, and this is the reason why we were stopped out few times over here where we entered on these weeks, because we didn't wait close. So in this case scenario, I waited for price to close above 50 exponential moving average and then enter the position, because as we can see over here, we didn't have much luck with the 50 moving average. But over here I traded this close above, and the very next candle we saw the bullishness in this pattern. So what we can see also is that the link went into the resistance to the upside, to make higher high and decline from it, of course, to retest support. Now, the wrong thing that we maybe did over here on this trade, at least in my head, is that we should have take some of the profits over here, because of course when the market gives you the chance to take the profits, just take the profits, do not be greedy. And the other thing that in this case scenario is not that wrong is because I was following my plan. I had actually some other goals than just to take 10% of it or 15%, how much was it on those levels. The thing that I wanted is to catch the move of the link that we had also over here. Now in this case scenario, a link is in one tunnel and we need to respect that tunnel also. We need to bear in mind that link may retrace to actually test level of support, and in this case scenario we are still not stopped out. This is maybe 1% loss if we are stopped out, which is totally nothing for me and good risk reward ratio. So this is the reason why I let the trade come back all the way to retest this level of support. For now we are holding, and in this day of course link is following Bitcoin, so we have one red candle. So if we bounce from this level of support, we may see higher prices in the link most probably, and I do believe if we bounce from this level of support, if we don't break it, right, we may actually break the level of resistance. So whenever the price is not breaking some level of resistance or support, or let's say bouncing back from it, either if it's a support or resistance, chances are increasing that it's going to break out the opposite line of support or resistance, doesn't matter. So in this case scenario, if we bounce from level of support, it's going to be pretty good, but for now, so far so good. We are still holding above this line, and I can tell you pretty good respect. Look at this, guys, 4 candles over here, and none of the wicks are actually passing through that level of support. Very neat tunnel. I just love what link does over here, especially because the whole price action looks very healthy on this chart over here. Also, we can say that for the RSI, we are still in the bullish zone above level of 50. We are not in the overbought zone, and so far so good, I must say that. And if we switch on the weekly chart, you can see that we are not far away from 50 weekly exponential moving average. We retested it actually 2 weeks ago, and that's perfectly good example of one of the chart how it should look like. As I told you, whenever the price comes back to retest some level of support after parabolic move as we had over here on the link, tends to come back to retest very violently, and as you can see, the violence is on the charts. You can see big wicks over here, a lot of consolidation around this level of 20 exponential moving average, and I still don't know how link actually managed to hold above these levels. But for now, so far so good. We are good to go to the upside if the Bitcoin starts moving to the upside. Also, we need to bear that in mind, so because as you can see, we are into the bearish situation today, or let's say this week, because also Bitcoin is in red. Now, one of the reasons why I think that the VeChain came down so far and still didn't manage to return to its path to the upside is because it went much more parabolically than Chainlink itself. What I mean by this, if you take the measurement over here, you can see that we went for around 1600% approximately to the upside. That's, guys, a lot in percentage. So if we switch to the downside over here, VeChain corrected only 57 or 56% from those lows when it started to pump, right? So I do believe VeChain is going to slow down soon and let us finally go to the upside, because I'm ready to enter this position over here, and we're going to do that trade also on the video. So I will show you where I entered, why I entered there, what I expecting, where is the stop loss, and stuff like that. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. So right now we are still not respecting this falling wedge formation that we had over here. That means that the VeChain is still not ready to actually starts correcting to the upside. And if we switch on the daily chart, you can see perfectly good example of one falling wedge formation that should let us shoot to the upside, but unfortunately we're still consolidating around level of resistance or level of support in this case scenario over here, this line, this big line over here. And what I am expecting right now from the VeChain is that since we found level of support on this line, we can say that we found level of support, at least on magnetic way over here. We still didn't retouch this level of resistance, or in this case support, this big line, but that's because we also have this zone of supply that the traders are taking all the time. So we need to see first signs of reversal in the VeChain so we can put the next target to this chart over here. We are still not seeing any sort of a signs of reversal over here. We still need to see VeChain at least above level of 20 exponential moving average over here, close above and bouncing back from it in order to say something bullish to it. So this is the, at least for now, something that we are expecting so we can enter the trade. We also need to say that we were into the oversold zone over here, and since then we are making lower highs, which is also good progress, but we need to see also that on the charts over here. One thing that is very bullish for now on the indicator over here is that we are making bullish divergence, which is pretty much rare to see. We do have higher highs over here on the chart, let's say, or we can even say lower high down, doesn't matter. And over here we are dropping in the price, which means in this case scenario price is showing us bearishness while money flow into the market is still bullish. So far so good. We still need to see this on the chart first, and after that we are good to go. So I think this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing special on the markets today. About news we're going to cover maybe tomorrow on the day after. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and if you have some other coin that you would like me to cover over here on the trading view, first make sure that is on the trading view, and then let me know in the comment section down below. I will definitely consider it and do that technical analysis. Why not? Especially if it's something interesting on the charts. Now, I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, and until the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.